G'day guys, Sam here from Recon Australian Adventures. With this being one of the first couple of videos up on my YouTube channel, one thing that you're probably asking is, what sort of four-wheel drive am I going to be using or doing up to actually four-wheel drive around Australia? Now, I took a really long, hard think about this, and I was thinking about getting a loan out, going for a new, possibly a Land Cruiser, a Hilux, a Nissan, or even a Triton. But then I thought, with it being the very first proper video on my YouTube channel, I thought, screw it, let's go right down to the bottom, get the lowest of low, and work our way up from there. So with this first vehicle that I've got, it's covered in mouse. Now the vehicle that I've chosen has been back in the horse stables of farm for about 2.5 years. Hasn't even started within that time. And to be quite frank, I've got to look out for snakes while I'm at it because they're bloody all over the joint. Damn, I have not seen this car in 2.5 years. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is a 1997 single cab Hilux. Now that you guys can actually see what sort of vehicle I've chosen to start this YouTube channel on, I've got some pretty big plans to try and figure out what I'm going to do with it. First things first, this whole video is going to be me getting it out of this bloody horse shed or whatever it's called. I'm going to give it a wash down, probably give it a good old service, change the oil in it, probably do some tips and tricks on how to do a full service and how to also put rego on a vehicle that's been chilling out in a barn for the last 2 years. So first things first, I'm going to take the battery out of this bloody thing, charge her up overnight and see if she's going to turn over in the morning. But until then, I'm just going to take a good look around it, see if there's any major leaks or anything like that, anything that needs to be sorted out of the mechanics in Dunedoo. Then later on, we're going to get her onto the road and see how she purrs. Now, one of the other things that I was also worried about with having a barn find like this, I was really worried because there's a mouse plague going across New South Wales at the moment. I was really worried that all of the wires inside the engine bay were all going to be busted up and chewed and stuff like that. So let's take a quick look and actually see what she looks like. Jesus Christ. Forgot it bloody does that. Not gonna lie, it doesn't look too bloody bad. The only thing that I can see is that there's a shit ton of spider webs and she's dusty, I'll tell you that. But so far, it looks pretty good. Might be able to keep this as a tourer after all. Righto, now that that's on the charge, I'm going to wait till in the morning to try and see if they will start her over. And once that starts over, I'm going to try and get her out on her own steam. But if not, I've got another ute to drag her out if I have to. Tomorrow, I'm going to get on to the engine oil. Also probably diff oils, just going to be checking the diff oils and the gearbox oil. It's always good to check those, especially if they've been sitting for over a year. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing what she sounds like actually, but jump cut to that right now. Righto guys, as you guys can see, it's the next day. Got the battery over here that's been charging all night. I'm going to chuck her into the old ute, throw some diesel into the side there so that it's got some clean diesel running through the system. I'm also going to have to prime the diesel pump just to get all the old gunky crap out of the lines, because that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to blow your bloody engine just with having your fuel. And then we're going to see if this thing will actually fire over. Righto, now that we've got the fuel all sorted out, it's been primed and ready to rock and roll, it's always good check just to double check your engine oil, make sure you do have enough of it. It's alright to do an engine start over just with the original oil to run it through a little bit, because for the first run you're not going to be taking it down the road. You're going to take it, run it for about a minute or so and take it up to the shed and see what you have to do to it. So if we just check it here, she's right on the full mark, so that's what you want to see. Just to double check, run your finger along it. Yep, and she's still on the full, so that stuff there is good to go. It's not too black either, so I'm pretty sure this had a had an oil service not far from once it actually got parked up here. So yeah, the fuel's done, oil's done. I'll smash this battery into it, double check the radiator, see if there's any water in there. Be one step closer to rolling this thing over. Rightio. Well, she's got power, I know that because the Red Arc DC to DC charger's just turned on. There's not a battery hooked up in the back yet, but rightio. Now that we've got the keys, we can actually see if this old girl starts over. Make sure she's in neutral, big part. Let's take a break and see what's going on. Righto, it's a couple of days after you just seen me mucking around with a ute. What I seem to believe it is the starter motor. So I went over to Dubbo, got a starter motor. Now we're gonna go throw that thing in there, see if it starts. It does start because we had to bloody take it out and roll start it, but I'll show you guys the new starter motor. There she is right there. So we're gonna go chuck this thing on there, see if it does start the ute, because I got it booked in on Wednesday at the mechanics for a blue slip, and then get back to you guys and see how it goes. Now that I've got the new starter motor in, thank bloody God that the old one came out, because I'm 99% sure that it was the starter motor, because I'll show you guys what it looks like. It was all full of like black powder. I'm no mechanic or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to have a ton of black powder in there. I don't know if a cylinder's busted or something, or the wires have been gone or something in it, but got the new one in anyway, so I'll go show you guys that right now. So you guys will just be able to see that new shiny bit right there. And I tell you what, if you are doing a starter motor on these ones, make sure you put the power cable on before you actually put it in the car, because I had to put it in there and I had to take it off to actually put that tiny little cable in there, so you know, into the wiring harness, otherwise the bloody thing wouldn't work. It's too tight to get a screwdriver in there. Not only that, you want to do it up tight as well. You only want to do these jobs once. But now we're going to see if she cranks over by herself. I bloody hope so, because I've got no idea what to do if this doesn't work. I'm 99% sure it's a starter motor, but we're about to find out. Let's see if this thing actually starts. Get your glow plugs warm first. Oh, this works. Out of gear, double check. Had to bloody weight off my shoulders, I tell you what. Now that I know that the ute can actually start by itself every single time, I turned it off and on about 3 or 4 times and she runs pretty good. Gave her a bit of a rev and there's nothing sounds crazy or anything that's going to blow out the side. So now that I know that the engine's running by itself, I can get onto the little tedious jobs like just a normal oil service, give it a really good clean, really good look over. I've got to double check that all the blinker lights work, just so ready for blue slip, and then I'll see you guys at the mechanics if there's nothing else wrong with it, but we'll have to see. Righto guys, it has been about 2.5 weeks and I'm pretty bloody excited to say that the ute actually has reg on it. It passed its blue slip, which is bloody awesome. Only a couple of small things, like it needed a new battery, a new washer bottle. Already put that starter motor in, as you guys actually saw. But now I'm excited to say that the ute actually has plates. Check this out. The 20 V. That's definitely not going to be its name, but I've actually been thinking about a name for this Hilux. I think I'm going to be calling it the 950 Hilux, just for the simple fact that I paid $950 for it, and it's cost me $2,000 to get rego insurance and all the stuff from the mechanics, plus the starter motor and bits and pieces and parts and like that. But I'm excited to say that it's actually roadworthy, and it can drive. It can actually leave and go on the road legally. So the next couple of videos are going to be me basically modding it out, seeing if I can, you know, make it any better in a four-wheel drive, making it a little bit more comfortable. So if you own a four-wheel drive, they're going to be pretty well worth it to actually check out those videos. But yeah, I'm going to cap it off for this episode. So if you guys did enjoy watching me get this old bloody Hilux going from the back shed of a horse stable, I think it was, all the way to where it's got plates and it's roadworthy and it's ready to rock and roll on tracks. If you guys want, you can subscribe, so you can always turn your notifications on so that when a video does come out, you guys will know straight away. And I'm going to record some more fun with this thing, and I'll see you guys soon. See ya.